Story County, helping build Nevada's future.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. On the broadcast today, Rachel Dahl joins us. She's publisher of Fallon Media, along with Todd Tuttle, tourism director for Virginia City. It's all coming up next on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
Life just feels harder these days. Our governor, Joe Lombardo, gets that. That's why he's fighting to improve lives right here in Nevada. We want to provide for our families. Governor Lombardo cut regulations that help bring over 84,000 new jobs here, while also fighting to lower the cost of housing. And his crime bills have made our neighborhoods and schools safer. We can't control the global economy, but Governor Lombardo is fighting to improve lives here in Nevada. Thank you, Governor Lombardo.
The Nevada Builders Alliance has been protecting the interests of the construction industry for over 50 years. Our programs save members thousands of dollars every year and allow them to provide much-needed benefits to their employees. Our industry also allows Nevada to grow. If you're thinking about a career in the construction industry, reach out. And if you haven't thought of a career in construction, what are you waiting for? We are the Nevada Builders Alliance.
Meet Nevada Health Link, Nevada's official health insurance marketplace. Your link to savings, selection, free assistance, and name brand health insurance, where 90% of enrollees lower the cost of their monthly premium. Everyone deserves access to quality health coverage, no matter your income or family size. Visit NevadaHealthLink.com. A few minutes could save you hundreds of dollars per month.
Nevada Health Link. Our plans are made for your plans.
2025 is bringing big changes for Nevada businesses. If you have more than 5 employees and have been operating for 3 years or more, you must now comply with new state retirement plan mandates. The Vegas Chamber 401k plan makes it easy, offering a proven, customizable, and cost-effective plan for employers and employees to save with tax advantages. Visit vegaschamber.com to explore options and see how the Vegas Chamber can help you start saving for your future.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad, a no-holds-barred political forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we're always pleased to welcome back to the program Rachel Dahl. She's the publisher of Fallon Media, which barely says anything about what your company does. You're going to have a bigger name because she's pretty much news of the whole state from the center of the state all the way north, and with Range Magazine. And I wanted to start out with Range Magazine, which C.J. Hadley carried on for many, many decades, and you've taken over the last year. You were just in Rapid City, South Dakota. What was going on there?
The RCAF, National Annual Convention that they have every year. So the cattle industry comes together to talk about all the things that are affecting the ability to ranch and be out on the land. Super interesting, great conference, over 300 people there. And so I got to meet a lot of our range supporters and subscribers and industry leaders. It was amazing.
Okay. So what did you learn?
So they had super good sessions about all of the different issues. So electronic IDs for cattle, the screwworm, and the whole update on that. There's an effort to reform the Endangered Species Act. We had several different presentations on the cattle market and all of the different things that are influencing beef prices today. There was an update on President Trump ordered the Department of Justice to investigate the 4 packers for antitrust allegations, basically saying that they colluded to influence the cattle market and the beef prices. And so we had a presentation from the Department of Justice attorney who's doing that case, which is really interesting. So tons of information.
Okay, so that's something that most people don't understand is there's basically beyond the local ranches, there's only 4 major producers of beef and they're not even necessarily USA companies.
Correct.
that supply the beef of this country.
Right. One is Brazilian owned, so some foreign ownership in those big four packers. And recently, I think within the last couple of weeks, there was a plant in Wisconsin that got shut down. So it's just an incredible dynamic and really interesting industry. And once you dig into it, there's so much more to it than what we're used to out here, cattle on the public grazing lands. So many things to learn. A lot of ranchers from Nebraska and Kansas, a lot of South Dakota ranchers, and they don't all necessarily run on public lands like our ranchers do out here. So different pieces of the cattle industry coming all together. Very, very interesting.
Okay, are we going to see the prices of beef drop anytime soon, or are we stuck with these prices? And are the ranches in the USA benefiting from the higher prices?
No, the ranchers aren't benefiting from the higher beef prices. They're right now benefiting from the cattle prices. Those are definitely higher, but the beef prices in the grocery store is what the big problem is, and why the antitrust litigation and investigation, because the beef prices are that's a different market variable and strain. So the beef prices aren't necessarily that doesn't get to the rancher.
Okay, so how well was Range Magazine received at this event?
Very good. Range Magazine's been around for 30 years, and so many people came over and were introducing themselves because, of course, they've been reading about the changes and wanted to get to like, oh, we want to meet you and see if you're real, kind of silly things. But it was really sweet. A lot of really good support. We did run into people who had never heard from us before, so we gave out a lot of magazines. And then I've had a couple people reach out since I was there, who I met there, who asked if they could freelance for the magazine. So many good things came out of it.
Okay, so people should subscribe to Range Magazine if they haven't already. I've been a subscriber since day one, and so I can personally assure people that it is a wonderful magazine, the greatest photography ever, and great stories about the West and ranching, but really all across the country, wherever there's ranching, you guys cover it. Let's take a break, and then I want to talk about the alleged news desert in Nevada. And I say alleged. We'll be right back.
A power line is more than a power line. It's maintaining the bottom line for small businesses. It's keeping the assembly line moving for our workforce. For our brightest minds, it's meeting a deadline. It's on the front line with our heroes. And on the sidelines of the biggest games. It's a direct line to our loved ones. And it's a lifeline for the most vulnerable. There's a lot on the line.
Like a traditional handmade basket, retail is woven into the fabric of life in Nevada. From big box to mom and pop, retail supports our communities in countless ways. Jobs for the disabled, team uniforms for kids, help for the elderly, and so much more. Retail employs over 1 in 10 workers. Retail supports Nevada, and we support retail.
RANNV.org.
As you know, Reno is booming. Toll's development company is helping it grow with insightful design and development, building community with every project, adding beauty, adding excitement, emphasizing our shared humanity. Reno is becoming bigger. Toll's development is helping it become better, more livable, more enjoyable. To learn more, go to tollsdevelopment.com. tollsdevelopment.com.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Rachel Dahl. She's the publisher of Range Magazine, along with a ton of other newspapers across the Silver State. Just got back from Rapid City. There was apparently a UNR study that basically accused Nevada of being a news desert. And my response to this with several people was, what on earth are you talking about? First of all, just start with Rachel Dahl and how many papers not only is she publishing online, but in print too. You've just seen tremendous growth with your company, reaching out to Nevadans all across the state.
We are. It's been an adventure. We started with Fallon, the Fallon Post, and then added Fernley and Lovelock, and then we got the chance to acquire the Winnemucca Publishing Papers, which had been over the years shrunk down or closed down and done away with. So the Lovelock Review Minor, the Humboldt Sun, and the Battle Mountain Bugle had all been shut down and combined into one newspaper called the Great Basin Sun. And so when I got those newspapers in March, we shelved the Great Basin Sun and then restarted the Review Minor, the Humboldt Sun, and the Battle Mountain Bugle, brought those back to each one of those communities. So we now have 5 newspapers being printed and 5 websites. And so people can subscribe either to online or to print. And then in the next week, I'm going to make this announcement. We're going to bring back the Great Basin Sun as the rural statewide newspaper. And so those newspapers are all kind of headlined the Great Basin Sun and then the Fallon edition, the Lovelock edition. And we'll keep the mastheads for each of the papers for the local. And then the section B will be the Great Basin Sun. So we'll probably have just 4 pages and nothing spectacular, but we want to do that Great Basin Sun piece as the rural paper. So that'll be a section B in all of those papers.
No, I think that's a great idea. The thing that kind of annoyed me about this news desert thing was you have a whole bunch of publications across the state, and good luck to them. I'm not knocking them in any way. But they are run as nonprofits and they're asking for donations. And I've always felt that from day one, the newspaper industry, going back to the beginning of the newspaper industry with linotype and all the rest of it, was a business. And you go out and, first of all, you put together a great product, then you go out and sell it and get advertisers and they sponsor that's what you're doing. Why are you not charity?
Well, we did. That was becoming the model. And so when we very first started the Fallon Post, we started it as a nonprofit. And it took me less than a year to realize that that was a really dumb idea. And it wasn't that's not really sustainable. So we have switched to that business model, going back to advertising and legal notices, all of those things, and quit running it as a charity. I feel like we just were that whole nonprofit. When you go around saying nonprofit, that means you're not going to make a profit. And if I want to keep this staff together, then I have, which is the only way that I can pull this off, is these amazing people who are surrounding me. Then we got to make a profit. Like, we all have to make our car payment. So we did start a foundation where we're extending what CJ had done with the Range Conservation Foundation, where we created our own vehicle called the Range Community Foundation, because we want to make that an availability to people who ask, who really do want to support rural journalism. And so there is a part of this movement that people really do want to support that, but you can't make that your business model. So we do have Range Community Foundation, which is this effort to support and strengthen rural journalism, but that's going to be something that we do in addition to running these papers and the magazine. We have the Nevada Rancher, which is a monthly magazine, and then Range Magazine, which is quarterly. So 5 weekly papers and the magazines.
Well, you are my hero, and I'm your biggest fan. And so continued success with all of this, and come back soon and visit us.
Thank you so much.
All right. And that's Rachel Dahl. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Story County, where history meets innovation, and a pioneering spirit continues to shape our future. At the heart of the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, we power the future with global leaders in technology and manufacturing, driving progress that reaches far beyond our county lines. From advanced manufacturing to tech innovation, our industries are creating thousands of quality careers, fueling a vibrant economy that benefits every Nevadan. But it's more than just growth. Our community is our foundation, supporting families, empowering local initiatives, and creating a place where everyone belongs. Be part of a legacy built on bold ideas and boundless possibilities. Join us in building a brighter future right here in Story County. Story County, helping build Nevada's future.
Stack up the wins during Carson Valley Inn's Summer Toys and Big Cash giveaways. Cash drops every Thursday and Saturday with over 450 winners. Plus, win a new side-by-side or $12,000 in cash at each event. Free wheels, free play, and bigger thrills. Only at Carson Valley Inn.
We're the Peters family, 2 combat veterans, our daughter Elle, and our Liberty Dogs puppy in training, Cooper.
Cooper will grow up to be a life-changing companion to a veteran with visible or invisible challenges.
We're helping Cooper build focus and confidence so he's ready to support his veteran.
And we know he will help bring happiness and independence to his veteran's life.
So join us, become a puppy raiser, and change lives, one puppy at a time.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we're pleased to welcome to the program for the first time Todd Tuttle. He is Tourism Director for Virginia City. Pleasure to welcome you to the program, sir.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
I wish you would have gotten dressed up. This casual look is just inappropriate.
There are certain standards we have in Virginia City, and so we kind of stay on the casual side most of the time.
How long have you been Tourism Director?
I've been up there for coming up on 5 years now.
I represented Virginia City in tourism going back 36 years ago. It's a wonderful place to be able to promote. There is so much between the history, but also you have a ton of new businesses opening up there as well.
We do. There's a lot going on, particularly on the C Street and off of C Street when we talk about D Street and B Street and even all the way up to Howard and A Street. There's a lot that goes on and new things that are coming in all the time. So we're excited to see them, and we hope for their great success.
Former home of Mark Twain.
Of course, whenever we talk about, the beginnings of Nevada, when you talk about 1860, Samuel Clemens is right in the middle of that and all the adventures that he had here, and of course laying his mark. And with that comes up to Virginia City to be part of the territorial enterprise. As you know, it was from location to location. But with it, we kind of recognize and celebrate his history up there as he shifted from Samuel Clemens to the renowned Mark Twain.
One of the things that I've been so impressed with Virginia City with for all these years is the number of events that they put on. I mean, it's really tremendous. And you've got big stuff coming up. This is the July 4th weekend. For those in Las Vegas who are watching this, just a few days prior for Northern Nevada. What have you got lined up this year?
Well, of course, the big celebration, America 250 celebrations. We celebrate that 250 years of independence here. But the nice thing is everything we do in Virginia City, all the events that we have tie back to some historical background or structure to it. And so in this case, we're also celebrating our 150th anniversary of the restoration after the Great Fire of 1875. By 1876, we're celebrating the centennial for the America. But at the same time, we're celebrating the rebuilding of Virginia City and the opulence that we see out there today. Before, it was mainly wood and shacks and tents. And after the fire, they came back with brick buildings and the cast iron structures that hold it up. And so a whole new look over in Virginia City. And so we're celebrating the 150th anniversary of that. We're celebrating the 250th anniversary of America. And so with that, one of the biggest parades that we put on is the 4th of July parade right down C Street, and it's just like the old-time parades always were. All the kids show up. A lot of the participants are handing out candy and being able to just be up close to that parade as it rolls by. And then we have a free concert there on C Street, right next to the Bucket of Blood, and fireworks, some of the best that you'll find up in the mountains with us.
Well, Bucket of Blood is a legendary saloon.
Of course. And it's always been part of really what happens around there. The parking lot that's next to it, we clear that out and set the stage up. So anybody coming to see the fireworks gets that free concert before the fireworks show. And just a great place to be able to spend and celebrate with your fellow Americans.
Well, one of the things that's, as I was mentioning earlier, is all the different events that you guys put on. So it's not just July 4th, but if you want to come up for something unusual like the outhouse races, the camel races, I mean, these have been going on for years.
Yeah, in fact, the camel races this year, we celebrate our 67th anniversary of the camel races. And when we go back to, the original structure where the camels were used for a caravan to be able to transport across the southern deserts. We used camels to support and transport salt from the desert up to the mining process to be able to make that happen. And so camels had been a part of this area for some time. Unfortunately, they don't get along too well with mules and horses, and so there's a few laws that say you can't have a camel on Nevada highways, and I think it's still on the books, if I know right. Which is kind of strange.
We can check with the sheriff on that one. We were in Alice Springs, Australia a few years ago, and it was fun because they have camels there from when they built the GAN train all the way from Darwin down to Adelaide, and they brought camels there because the Afghanis were the ones that were building this, and for a lot of years they would send a contingent to Virginia City to race in the camel races.
Yes. So it's a neat part of this worldwide activity that goes on. A lot of people are aware of the camel races. We were visiting Egypt not too long ago, and we had mentioned we raced in the camel races, and suddenly we were celebrities. Like, people wanted to know how our race went and what we were on, and et cetera, et cetera. So.
And in Egypt, traffic is a very interesting thing. So it's not unusual to see trucks, lorries, cars, and then people riding, behind mules with their cell phones, and then a camel.
Yeah.
It's Egypt.
And so here's a chance here in Virginia City, come on up, see the camels, and understand some of our background and history.
Okay, not only can people come up, by the way, it's a wonderful drive up there, especially if you have a sporty kind of vehicle.
Yes.
Because it is quite the mountain road going up there. But you have lots of accommodations too.
Of course. One of the largest hotels that we have is the Silverland Inn and Suites. We give a great shout out to them because they provide the location for us to be able to launch the fireworks from. And they've done a number of quite a bit of remodeling. They've added a new bistro that's up there with a beautiful view looking out over a 100-mile view, 6 Mile Canyon. Some great things to be able to accommodate. Or you can get some of the period location. So at the Silver Queen Hotel, which is still in its 1875 appearance. So if you wanted to stay in an older location, you could. Cobb Mansion, if you're looking for the intimacy of a bed and breakfast. Connie puts on a great breakfast up there along with it. The Howard Street Inn, there's quite a number of places to be able to stay.
And you go all the way down to the Gold Hill Hotel.
Correct.
Which is one of the classic places to stay.
And then, when we talk about Mark Twain and that history, Gold Hill, of course, celebrates the fact that Samuel Clemens slept here. It's one of the few buildings that wasn't burned down by the fire of 1875, and so it carries its historic value all the way back to the 1860s. They also put together a great wine dinner. So if you're looking for something unique, some great food, July 2nd, they've got a great wine dinner up there too.
Okay, one other thing I want to mention before we let you go here is you also have ghosts.
There's a few up there. We like to consider them a few of the residents that have just kind of stuck around a little bit and like to take in the views as go along. So whether you're swinging by the Washoe Club or down to the Mackey Mansion or up to Piper's Opera House, but pretty much every location there in Virginia has a story to be told and pictures to be shown of those little ghosts that they may have seen.
Are you still doing cemetery tours?
Cemetery tours are available, yes.
And Piper's Opera House is fabulous, whether there's a performance or not.
Correct.
Go check that out.
That is a wonderful place to visit, and it gives that feel and history of what the West was all about, as people would come from all over the world to perform there. When you get a list of the people that were there.
It's astonishing, really.
Yeah, you talk about Lily Langtry coming to perform from England. You talk about Caruso coming to perform.
Well, that was one of the interesting things for people that may not know, is that these mining camps all across the West had all these major stars that would come out and tour and play all these locations that were the most unlikely, but they were most welcome by the miners who were looking for entertainment beyond booze and young ladies, should we say.
Yeah, and they did have quite a good showing, and that was the unique thing about it. The other part was that Virginia City and its population in its heyday, largest city west of the Mississippi, larger than Yerba Buena as it eventually became San Francisco. And so the theater troupe there at Piper's Opera House is actually some of the foundation that begins the theatrical history and background down in San Francisco. So a lot of the performers came to Virginia City to perform, and then they would go to some of these other smaller locations to be able to get a little extra time. So people look at Virginia City now as a small old ghost town, but in its heyday,
oh, it's not a ghost town by any means.
It's huge, yeah.
Yeah, you can spend several days in Virginia City and still not see half of what's going on there. I want to thank you for coming in, and especially for those listening on the radio, you're missing out because Todd is dressed in a spectacular outfit, and maybe you should go online and check it out. Todd Tuttle, Tourism Director for Virginia City. Thank you so much for doing this, and have a great 4th of July.
You too.
Thank
Celebrate America.
Thank you, sir. And we'll be right back.
Hear ye, hear ye! All hail the $75,000 Cash is King giveaways at Tamarack Casino. Rule the kingdom with cash giveaways every Thursday and Saturday. And live royally with up to $10,000 in winnings every week. Eat, play, win! Your good times are at Tamarack Casino.
Each day, the Children's Advocacy Alliance partners with leaders, legislators, and families across Nevada to improve children's health, education, economic well-being, and safety. We recognize Nevada will be no better than the state of its children. Be a part of this change. Be a supporter of the Children's Advocacy Alliance. For more information, go to caanv.org.
Welcome to the Ahern Boutique Hotel, where luxury and warmth come together in the heart of Las Vegas.
We take pride in offering a one-of-a-kind experience for both locals and tourists.
Join us for handcrafted cocktails and an unforgettable experience.
Joel's Chop House, the perfect place to savor views of the Las Vegas Strip.
Satisfy your cravings at the Ahern Chocolate Shop.
No smoking, no resort fees, and the parking is always free. The Ahern Luxury Boutique Hotel is your home away from home.
You're in trouble with the law. It's easy to think you'll lose everything, but there is hope. I'm attorney Orrin Johnson. Your first step is to hire a serious attorney with the experience to successfully navigate the legal system for you.
Sometimes hope means addiction treatment instead of jail, and making sure you're treated fairly.
Sometimes hope means fearless trial attorneys will stand up to the government when they get it wrong. Call or text Orrin Johnson Law.
We'll make a plan.
You'll take back your life.
Nevada Newsmakers is available as a podcast. It's also available on YouTube anytime you want to watch or listen. Thanks for watching Nevada Newsmakers.